Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome and thank you very much for joining.
Okay, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, GNSG.
Yes, sir.
Very good evening, and
Good evening,
thank you very
sir.
much for joining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
We have few minutes to go, another 3 minutes to go for the session.
Sure, sir. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everybody. Hello, Mr. Joe Srinivasan, Mr. SN, Madam Parimala, Sumugan, Apollo, all the way from Apollo Hospital, Mr. Ganesh, everybody. Thank you so much. Madam Rajeshwari, I think, joined some time back. Happy seeing you, Mr. Sumugan.
Good evening, sir. Nice
Very
to
good
connect
evening.
with you.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is ours.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Anand, Mr. GNS.
Hello,
Good evening,
Sriram sir. How are you?
Fine, all fine.
How the day going?
Yeah, going on well.
Very nice, very nice.
Very busy.
Absolutely.
Running around.
Very nice, sir. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for taking time out to join us.
Yeah.
JNS sir, normally, as you know, when the webinar starts, in few minutes, the momentum picks up. So all the people will be joining because the reminders are keep going. Everybody's traveling. And of course, today is a Saturday. Most of them are at home or maybe at the relaxed atmosphere.
That's right.
So the time is exactly 6:58, so 2 minutes to go.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Welcome everybody, and you can. We have another 1 minute to go. Maybe you can just turn your video on so that we can see your lovely faces. Yes, Mr. Shumagan, thank you for the swift response.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Rajeshwari here.
Yes.
I'm not able to take my
Perfectly
video on.
fine. Perfectly fine. Perfectly. I mean, over is okay. You can actually turn on. Otherwise, it's not an issue. We just want to say hello to you. That's all. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, I'm available. I was
Raghotaman.
driving. I didn't want to switch on my video. Okay.
Oh, take
Good
care.
evening, sir.
Drive safely. Yeah, thank you. Good evening, sir. Moti. Thank you, Mr. Sundarajan, for turning your video on. To nicely see you. And then Mr. Shankar Raman Vedagiri. Hi, how are you? You are all the way in San Francisco or London, I don't know. The bridge, what you have. Probably the London Bridge. Great. Happy seeing you all. Sir, the time is 7. We are set to go. JNS, sir, can we start?
Yeah, sure, sir. Of course.
Great. Thank you so much. Very good evening, each and every one of you. Thank you for taking your time out to join this Lumen Network webinar series. This is the 7th webinar series that we are running today. And last 6 webinar series, all the 6 sessions successfully we conducted. So many people have joined, so many entrepreneurs, professionals, business associates, small, medium organizations, leaders. Many people have joined, many people got benefited. By the way, I'm MK Anand, also called Sea Change Anand. Lumen Network is created for connecting, integrating, aggregating small business owners, MSME owners, startup founders globally. It's a global platform started by Sea Change Consulting in the day on 28th, 2025, September 2025. And ever since we've been silently enabling and servicing MSME sector in connecting, integrating, and aggregating people. So in this webinar today, we have a great professional who has about 40 years in the industry experience, 4 decades of experience. So many of you probably would be sub-40s, hopefully. And this gentleman has 4 decades of professional experience ever since 1983, if I'm right, after his graduation from CIT, right, sir? Your Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. And one of the greatest things that I learned from this gentleman, Mr.G. Sivaramakrishna, is that when he was doing his final year mechanical engineering at Coimbatore, Government College of Technologies, Coimbatore, he has first time, I think, in the institution, he approached the college management and said, as a student, that we will run, the campus to corporate kind of approach. Like, we will approach corporate organization to visit our college. I think prior to that, no institution, no organization used to visit those colleges, I guess. And he has taken that initiative with a couple of his friends or, maybe the classmates and batchmates. And HCL came and recruited people. And he was one of the first few recruitees in the early part of 1983. And he had joined HCL Technologies, served for 12 years with HCL Tech in different positions. And then he moved to Pentafor, and he moved to several other global organizations. And he's a globetrotter. And he traveled length and breadth of the world. And he worked in several countries like Australia, USA, everywhere. And he has brought in a wealth of knowledge, wealth of expertise, not just one domain, but in multiple domains. Today's topic, when we approached him, and he is also gladly consented, and he has, been supporting Sea Change Consulting in many ways in helping our MSME clients, MSME entrepreneurs, by offering his project experience, not just one single field, but multiple fields. Just to name few, is a great proponent on go-to-market strategies, especially today's world. He talks about ETM, go-to-market strategies. GTM is one of the quite popular buzzword, right, for every single business and entrepreneur side. So he helps them to establish go-to-market strategies, right from strategy to execution. He helps them, handhold them, guide them, mentor them, coach them. Not just go-to-market strategy, but also he helps them on brand building through digital marketing guidelines and guidance. He's a great digital marketing advisory panel member of Sea Change as well. He also helps not about branding and marketing, but also helps them on sales conversions, building sales funnels, building and guiding people to convert the leads into orders. Hence, he said, let me keep a title, Fact from Factory to Market. Is a title which is given to us for this 45 minutes presentation of Mr.G. Sivaramakrishna. And we are going to hear him out how an entrepreneur, MSME entrepreneur, can leverage this from factory to market GTM perspective, and how each one of us can take minutest aspects of his expertise from a practical exposure for our business and see how we can build our business to the next level. This is the topic of today. With this, I wanted to add some more points about Mr.G and Sivaramakrishna, who is also Chief Business Officer for one of our premium services of Sea Change Consulting, namely PHGnomics and Family Business or Founder Business Advisory Services. He's very good at building leadership team, the A team of an organization. Typically, MSME sector entrepreneur runs everything, pillar to post. Normally, MSME owners don't build the A team. He helps them to build the A team and B team and C team, meaning the layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3, and build performance management system, create AOPs, annual operating plan. I mean, he's a program director where he has got a bunch of experts, consultants, and partners of Sea Change Consulting and helping clients to move to the next level in running the organization professionally. With a small brief note, I would request on behalf of each one of you, Mr.G and Sivaramakrishna, to kindly walk us through the from factory to market GTM plans for MSMEs in the next 45 minutes time. After the presentation is over, we can have Q&A session with him. We can throw questions to him. We can actually get his perspectives and then move forward. With that, I request Mr.G and Sivaramakrishna to take it forward. I'm going to help him on the slides. If it is okay with you, I will open the slide, Mr. GNS.
Yes,
Over
sir.
to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Anand, and a warm welcome to everybody. I would like to especially say a thanks to Narayanan Mohan Kumar, who's joined from Dubai, who is my classmate from school and known to me for the last 50 years, and my other classmate, PM Suresh, who is from my college, who is also joined. Thank you very much, guys. And thanks everybody else who has joined for this webinar. Thank you, Mr. Ganesh. Thank you, Mr. Suresh Kumar. Thank you, Mr. Raj Mohan. Thank you, Mr. Ponnai. And
thank you, sir.
thank you, Mr. Veeraraghavan. Thank you, Mr. Sriram. Thank you, Mr. Selvaraj. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Thank you, Mr. Satish. Thank you, Salmika. And all who have joined. Dynamically, people are joining. Thank you, Sudhakar Raman. Thank you, Saravanan Ramalingam, Murugan Selvanayagam, who is also my college mate. And thank you, Dr. Sumugan Chandran, and others also.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to this session. What I'm going to talk today is a situation that has been prevailing for many decades among MSME organizations. Our nation is bestowed with the great ability of having so many MSME organizations. They produce excellent products, they produce very innovative solutions, and they are really good engineers in mind and other entrepreneurs. But many a times, many occasions, we have seen they do not know how to take their products to the market. That has been an issue with many entrepreneurs. They are very zest. They have a lot of zest and zeal in creating a product right from scratch and putting all their efforts of their knowledge that they have gathered in their experience and produce something. But at that time, when they try and see the product is ready and the factory has produced and they have put in a lot of work, they are not knowing where to take it to the market. It's sometimes what happens is when a technocrat MSME entrepreneur who's probably very good in creating is not really all that very good in taking it to the market, sometimes falls into a trap of she herself get into trying to market it, and they may probably only restrict it to the known circle of what they are, and that's where the marketing stops. Beyond that, it doesn't get expanded, the horizon doesn't grow, and thereby the many MSMEs have problems of a life cycle, like as we call in the T20 format or in the ODI format, there is a power play. During the power play itself, they are probably waning out and going. So what I intend to do is to give an orientation today in this session, which will enable people who are MSMEs who should get some kind of a confidence in terms of why and how they can take their products to the market. Just let me start with a very small, very quick and small story. about 4 or 5 decades ago, a mountaineer who had just scaled a very high peak was interviewed by a journalist, and among various questions, he was asked by the journalist, why did he climb that mountain? The answer was very simple. It is there, and I climbed it. Similarly, my advice to an MSME entrepreneur is the market is there. Please go and fetch it. Mr. Anand, next slide. So please go and fetch it. So if you look at what we are trying to do is how to make every MSME entrepreneur believe that there is a market. Why do we have to go to the market? Because it is there. And what do we do with it? We climb. So if you look at the picture, it shows the mountaineer. He has finished his climbing, come down, but he's showing the way to the others through his telescope and say that, hey, there is a market out there, and that's a big market, and there is a vast horizon. Please go ahead and take it up. Next slide.
మెసేజ్ పెడతాను నేను తర్వాత సాటిస్ఫైడ్ అనుకుంటాను సెంటెన్స్ తోటి తీసేస్తాను ఇప్పుడు 3 సార్లు తీసింది ఫస్ట్ చదివేది చూడండి.
Welcome, Mr. P.S. Rao. Thank you very much for joining, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, why this webinar for MSMEs? As I told you, many MSMEs, they build through a lot of number of years of engineering and expertise and manufacturing discipline. They bring a lot of products. They face a lot of issues at the end of a product life cycle when the business is ready to go to the market, but they are clueless in terms of how they can take it to the market. The founder has his own small network of people around him or her, and then they try and get business from there. And then there is a kind of a chickening out of the situation. Most critically, then what happens? Confusions will start emanating. Discounted sales will start happening, and throwing away product at prices which are not the right ones, and letting it go with kind of a heavy heart. And sometimes even the next produce takes a beating in terms of its quality, and so many other aspects happen at that stage. So the lack of clarity, it prevents a systematic growth. You see, if you look at an MSME, when he starts a factory or he starts an organization, he or she has a long-term plan for the next 18 months or 24 months as to how they build the product, how they design it, how they R&D it. All that is done very systematically. But when it goes to business development, selling the product, getting the business, and growing the market, that systematic approach is going out. So next, sir. What is go-to-market? Okay. Go-to-market is not just sales and marketing. It is beyond sales and marketing. It is having so many aspects, like in the subsequent slides, you will understand. It has so many aspects like which market will you choose? What is the product you will place? How will you give it to the customer? Which segment you will sell it to? At what price you will sell it for? How will you move it to the end use location? What is the channel that you establish? So critical elements of the positioning, the channel strategy, the commercial structuring are all combinations of what is called the go-to-market strategy.
Mute, please.
Sir, can you please mute yourself, sir? Thank you. So, thinking of a go-to-market strategy as the bridge between the product capability and the revenue that it can generate. Many a times what happens with an MSME organization chief, he feels that there are already others present in the market. They are doing wonders. Will my product take the right place in the market and all that? All of us know when we, in our own generation, if we realize we had all started our career when our parents were retiring at one stage. If you remember, when our parents retired, our parents would have probably had one pair of shoe and one wristwatch, and one pair of spectacles and probably about half a dozen pair of pants and shirts. But today, what is happening? Everybody has about 16 pairs of footwear, about 7 or 8, 9 or wristwatches, 7 or 8 pairs of spectacles, and probably 3 or 4 bags, and maybe about 35 to 40 pairs of suits in the wardrobe. What has happened? Market has expanded, commerce has expanded, the world has gone for variety of products, people are buying more. How much of value has increased? So the MSME entrepreneur should firmly believe that even his product has a place in the market, even his product can be sold at a particular price, even his product can go to the best of the clients that is given right now being serviced by somebody else who is a larger organization, who is an organization present for more number of years, and who has also got more variety of products that this man can imagine, and so on and so forth. The list goes very, very long. So next question is, whom should I sell it to? How will I sell it to? What is my structure of selling? What is the price I should have? And what is the growth I should have? Many MSME entrepreneurs will be very happy when they produce something, and then probably they are saying, okay, in the first year I could sell only about 1 crore worth. But how many of them are thinking in the first year I should sell for 4 crores, the second year I should sell for 9 crores, the third year I should sell for 14 crores. In the first year I must capture at least 3% market share. The second year I must capture at least 18% market share. The third year must capture at least 25% market share. How many people are having predictable growth matters lingering in their mind? Are they getting swayed like a windmill which is turning in the same direction where the wind is blowing, or are they able to generate the power themselves in their own fashion? Next. The MSME global, the go-to-market strategy has 5 steps playbook. The 5 steps playbook are: one is, what is the market focus? Define exactly where the product will be placed and how it will compete and how it will win in the place. Second is a value proposition. What is the articulation that they can have in terms of why the customer should choose those products? And then the route to the market. Determine how you will reach your product for your customers. What are the pricings and commercials? And what is the execution rhythm? Why did I use the word rhythm? Is basically, yeah, this slide explains it. Yeah, that's okay. That slide is okay. That slide explains it in terms of what are the steps like. If you look at the market focus, people have to decide which place to produce, which place that they should keep their market. I'm going to now start giving you a few examples of organizations where we have done go-to-market strategy for organizations which will have these kind of elements embedded so that all of you can understand. An example of an organization in Bangalore is a solar energy company. They make solar water heaters for the bathrooms for people to have hot water. They use it with the solar panels. And when they are trying to position it, they have to look at a combination of 2 factors. One factor is where they are also having the sun energy to capture the energy capturing. At the same time, those places are also cold enough where people need hot water for bath. So that's basically the market focus aspect. Now, if the same solar water heater company is coming and trying to sell that product in a Chennai city or in a Bombay city in the months of April, May, June, it won't sell. So there is a need for them to understand where to focus on the product, which market. What is the value proposition they are giving? So every product requires to have that particular value proposition, saying that whether he is saving the energy, the cost of electricity by way of a solar water heater. In this same example, I'm saying there are various other organizations, various other examples that can come up. So that is something that one needs to understand. What is the value that the MSME entrepreneur gives it to the client. The route to the market, is it going to be, in today's world, we have many channels. But if you look at 30 years ago, 25 years ago also, there were rather lesser number of channels for people to take to their market. They had only either a brick and mortar model where they had to appoint some distributors and physical movements of goods. Of course, even now, physical movements of goods have to happen, but there's an e-commerce engine which can drive it. And it's not necessarily the organization guy who runs the organization has to take care of the delivery. Somebody else, there are delivery channels. So the route to market in terms of the channels. The pricing and commercials. Why are we using a combination of the two words called pricing and commercial is pricing and commercial means how much should I price my product at the same time? What is the percentage or the gross margin I can aim for and I achieve that gross margin and taking into consideration my overheads and other things, what is the net profits that I can keep for my organization? These are all supposed to be driven factors, and with the driving factors only they should go to the market, not necessarily to understand, oh, this happened to me. I got about 8% gross margin and probably 0.5% of net profit. It happened to me. No, let me try and go for it. Next point, and of course the last point, but that comes in the first in the diagram, it's called execution rhythm. The execution rhythm is something, rhythm is what? It is a continuous cycle. The rhythm must be there continuously in the execution mechanism on all these aspects, because when you are introducing a new product, the market focus again changes. When you are introducing to a new segment, the value proposition again changes. When you are also bringing it to a new geography, the route to the market also changes. And when you are introducing to a new pattern of selling, the pricing and commercial also changes. So the execution rhythm stays constantly fit and driving all other factors. Next. So what is the foundation of the go-to-market success? So choose one or two customer segments. This is for a startup entrepreneur. It also probably can apply to an emerging company which is already present for the last few years, but they're bringing new products, or they're getting into new geography, or they're getting into new segments, or they're getting into new packaging or anything. Choose one or two segments to start with. Identify the customer types where your product delivers maximum value and resist the temptation to serve anybody and everybody. Choose that, get your hack together and see that you are getting a depth of penetration rather than a spread of horizontal. Then next is choose the geography initially. So for example, we did a project for a client in home textiles last year, and I'm continuing to do consulting work for them. And for that client, I had been to Tokyo last week for a business. We concluded some deals there for them. We chose certain markets exclusively for their home textile products because of the type of the delivery of the product, which had bamboo viscose based bed sheets and blankets and shirts. So we found out which are the markets which will accept that particular product, and then we positioned it there, and then we started the market opening up, and we are now in a momentum basis in a span of 9 months and supplying regularly. And the last place that we added was Japan, and we were there about 1 week ago for that. And then define one clear use case. Most importantly, in any kind of a products that are being brought out by MSME entrepreneurs, they should understand what is the use case. We use this word use case because we have all emanated from the information technology industry. Probably in those days, the word terminology use case is not there. It is probably customer adaptability or market adaptability. But here, let's use the word. It's basically what specific problem is that product solving? What is it giving to the client? Understand that and then position. These are all the constituents of what is called the go-to-market strategy in its entirety. So as I told in the beginning, it doesn't only restrict to sales and marketing. And then the last but not the least, in the market focus aspect, it is the depth before the width, which I'm repeating. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Ponnalan. I will be coming to Tokyo again in July. We will meet up sometime there. Thank you very
Sure,
much.
sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So the depth before width is like build deep relationships. Most important is when you as an entrepreneur create a customer, we might have heard of stories several times. Hey, I started my business in 1984, and that man is my first customer. That organization is still my customer. The third generation in that organization is still buying my product. So that's the depth in terms of the penetration aspect, in terms of the focus in the segment, and the clinging on to the client for a long-term relationship, etc. These are aspects of the market force focus. Next, sir. The value proposition. Moving beyond features. Nobody in today's world is interested in features, because if you take about 10 products, you go to PR and Sons in Mount Road and you want to buy a watch, you have about 75 different brands of watches are available. So everybody has features. So which one will you pick? But you need to understand before going there, you need to understand. Or when you go there, that man has to explain to you and saying, hey, a Longines watch does this, a Rolex does this, probably a Citizen does this, or a Seiko does this, or whatever. There are so many Rado and so many brands. So what is the features don't sell, outcomes sell. So if you look at, the specifications are something which is just meant for the printed brochure, in my opinion. Like if you say a 10 mm tolerance in the form of, just I'm talking from an engineering angle, it doesn't make a big impact. But if you say reduced assembly rejection rate, then it makes an impact. So if you're supplying a small sized automobile component, large volume, and you claim saying that my product which I give you has a reduced assembly rejection rate, then that is a outcome based proposition that you are giving. And then answer the why this organization. Every customer today has alternative, because there are thousands of brands available for a same product, for a similar product, including so many variants. Now, the value proposition must clearly articulate why choosing your product delivers better outcomes than any other, including the status. All these are meant to establish your relationship. And the differentiate, beyond price. Do not please fall for a price war in the beginning of the organization metamorphosis, because that will lead into a long-term, fuss and confusion and frustration, to lead with, always a feeling lingering on the back of my mind. Hey, I'm constantly selling at a loss. Please do not get into the trap. Differentiate your product with the value that it will deliver, and then relate it to the price and get your business, and align with the pain points. Most importantly, last but not the least, in this particular value proposition, aligning with the pain points is very important in terms of what keeps the target customers awake at night. If you see, how does your solution remove that pain and that effectively make them sleep peacefully, is what you are delivering and where you are succeeding. Next, sir. So the third aspect, as I said, there are 5 points to the playbook. We looked at the first 2, that is market focus and then value. Now we are looking at the route. The route basically is how to reach your customers, as important as is to sell them. The route to the market is it shapes your cost structure, your speed to the market, your customer relationships, and scalability potential. So how do you create a channel? What are the channel? We did a project. I'm giving another example here. There is an antique artificial jewelry corporate organization located in Chennai. They have 2 branches in Chennai. They are in business for the last 35 years, and they were selling this antique artificial jewelry to the uh, television serial segments for the artists' usage of this artificial jewelry. They were doing extremely well. They called us for an assignment. They said, hey, we are catering only to the Chennai industry and Tamil Nadu. How do I take this to? I want my artificial jewelry, antique based artificial jewelry, to go to all the states in India. We created a channel mechanism in such a way. We did a concentric circle based expansion plan. We did a 50-kilometer radius first, which is already present in Chennai circle. 50 kilometers radius is there. We then did a 100 kilometers radius concentric circle and told them how to move there and set up distributor network there. And we then started a 200-kilometer radius, a 300-kilometer radius, a 400-kilometer radius, and a 700-kilometer radius. Now, by the time, we also showed them that when the 100-kilometer radius shops are getting established and this 200-kilometer, the previous concentric circle distributor or a stockist should become mature enough on higher volume of sales pickup every. So there was a combination of an expansion geographically on a concentric circle basis, at the same time maturing of each concentric circle. So at the end of the 9-10 months, what happened for that organization? They were selling very happily to all the 700 kilometers distance or 1,000 kilometers distance. And today they are selling in 16 states. It took 1 year to do this. So that is what is the route to market. How do you take your product to the market? You got to do it on a scientific basis. So this is the model we did. This was done in the year 2024. I had done this project. So dealers and retailers are your vehicles. They carry your product to your marketplace. They carry your product to your end user customer. They get the feedback back to you and they help you to grow your business, and you help them to grow their business. Your customer derives the business. So anybody today saying, I only have one branch of my organization in Chennai, in Mylapore, I do not know how to take it to Manipur, please come to us. We will tell you how to do with the route to market and take you there. So channel also, you should select one primary channel first, whatever the channel can be. Do not do a conflicting channel. Take one channel, master that one route to market. It could be something. It could be probably in today's world, it may be Amazon. Probably in today's world, it may be Amazon. Check it if you are really sure of that is the way you're going to do it, or you are going to have some other. We also did one similar project for another organization, which is into Ayurvedic products. And they also wanted to expand. We set up a channel network by way of a what you call OTC counter based shops to start with, and made them to expand to 5,000 shops across the nation, and then went into next step. So pick up one channel first, stabilize it, go deep, penetrate, grow, and then go to another channel. Then distributor selection is also supposed to be strategic. Please select such distributors who are not going to depend on you for their operational management, but they will manage their own operations, but they are only going to depend on you for your timely deliveries and your ability to reach the market with the kind of composition of the combos of the products that they demand from the customer place as well as from their assessment. So that is a very important aspect in terms of a strategic dealership management. Enable faster channel selling. Make the dealer or distributor, it is not just moving your goods to your distributor, leaving it at his doorstep and ask him to do. Allow him the ability to get a support from you and show him in the first few weeks or months how. Now, this is also possibly that you can do it on a progressive basis. In terms of how you position your product and others, there is another example I can throw upon. There is a small organization, very small organization based in Trichy. They have 5 shops of white goods sales. They sell televisions, air conditioners, and those kind of products. They had one shop in Trichy, Pudukkottai, Madurai, Srirangam, and Tanjavur. Now, they had one problem. All of these places, the Vasant and Co, which was nearby their shop, was selling 4 times. Now, what happened is the principals, whether it is a Panasonic or it's a Sony or it is a higher, they started asking these guys to sell the higher range products, the 65 inches models and above, and the 4Ks, Dolby, blah, blah, whatever you call the features. But these guys did not have the market. Now we help them in all these 5 cities, all these 5 towns, we help them to do a route to market in a different way. There, we did not have this distributor and all that. We created an influencer network, and we saw that we made them to go to the posh areas and see, did a survey of which all houses have more than 2 cars that are parked inside their compound. They need more than 2 televisions. Which all houses have got 2 cars and 3 motorcycles. They probably need 1 more extra refrigerator. All these kind of strategies. And then those influencers we appointed, and within 1 year, they were almost inching towards an additional 20% of their own sales. Of course, they were not able to reach Vasant and Co. very soon, but they were able to increase 20%. So it all depends on where you choose your market, how you choose the route, how do you take your product to the customer and place it in his doorstep. That is important. Next. Pricing and commercial is, of course, very dynamic topic. It's not something that is, it goes by a hard and fast rule, because every product has a different pricing structure. Every type of product has a different pricing structure and things like that. Sorry, I just plugged on my laptop. So pricing is very strategic. It's, you should be in a position to understand how your cost mechanism is and how you have to price, how you should not lose your profits, etc. And then you also should ensure that margin is there for everybody, whether it is your channels, whether it is yourself, your channel, and the every chain of the cycle till it reaches the end user market. And most important is avoid underpricing. Many MSMEs underprice to win initial businesses. Of course, they may be forced to do so because if they find that the stocks are stagnating, they are unable to move it, and then they think, let me start at least pushing out my stock, let me at least realize some cost, let me at least pay my bank EMIs, let me at least pay my salaries, and let me at least try and be ready to buy more raw material. So many aspects are there. And they think, let me increase my prices 6 months later or 1 year later. Sorry, my friends, sometimes that may not happen. And you maybe have to stick up with probably a selling at a constantly lower price than what you have imagined, and rather what you probably thought that you will sell, you may be selling 25-30% lesser continuously. So please do not do that. And of course, standardize the discounts and credit terms over a period of time. It doesn't get generated immediately. Over a period of time, you will be able to standardize all this. So these are as far as the pricing and commercials are concerned. Next. So this is what I mentioned about the execution rhythm. Now, execution rhythm is basically, what it means is you need to be continuously at a go-to-market strategy. It's not that, you design and devise a go-to-market strategy for 6 months and after that you are there and you can go ahead. It doesn't happen. You need to have a continuously revolving mechanism. I will show you a slide in the next, I will show you an image in the next slide, which will explain. It's basically, how do you review yourself periodically? How do you understand your accountability? And what are the reports that you generate? What are the informations that you gather in terms of what is happening? And how do you plan further? What are the decisions you make from this? And then from the founder's point of view, you need to get out from the umbrella of a selling thing to a steering. You need to steer your business ahead. Next. Yeah, so the execution rhythm is like this. You plan something, you have a strategy, you deploy it, you review it. Again, you plan a new strategy, you deploy it, you review it. This is a very, very important thing that the MSME entrepreneur should understand, that what you sold to the same customer, the same product at probably the same price in January 2024 is not going to be the same in January 2027. It's going to be different. The way of selling is going to be different. The mechanism is going to be different. Everything is going to be different. Next. Typical GTM challenges faced by MSMEs. What are the challenges? Selling to everyone, winning no one. The temptation to pursue every opportunity leads to scattered efforts and diluted messaging. See, what happens is, as I mentioned in the beginning itself, the market focus. Who is your customer? To whom you will sell your product? If that is not clearly defined in the beginning, and if you start selling your product to everyone, you will be probably having a need to bow to the customer's dictates rather than you have your own ability. And then the challenge that is being faced by MSME is poor distributor productivity. Many a times what happens, if you understand, a distributor of, let us say, a Unilever is probably at a very high level, and he has got a lot of commitment towards Unilever, probably a distributor who is going to sign up with a small MSME. So the distributor may not show that kind of a commitment or productivity towards the MSME organization as much as he would show towards the Unilever. But it is better that you choose the guy as a distributor who gels well with you in terms of seeing that he takes you forward and he gives you the commitment that you need to expect from him. And that is what is important. Unclear value proposition. Most of the times, value propositions are not seen. They want to just produce, they want to just push it in the market, they want to start getting money, and they are not in a position to understand how to write about the product feature, how to explain about the value that comes out of the product feature, and how to show that it is of immense importance and value to the customer. And then no market expansion roadmap. That, as I told you, in fact, the example which I mentioned to you, how we expand on a concentric circle basis, if that kind of a thinking is not there, it's like, for example, saying, I will be in Rajasthan by 2027 October. If that kind of a thought is there today, you will be able to reach Rajasthan in 2027 October. If you are not having that thought, you're not going to go there. You're going to probably only be a windmill, again, in what I said, or in what we say to salespeople during our training. Are you an order taker or a business getter? So if somebody comes and gives you an order, will you take it or will you go and get your business? So the MSME becomes an order taker. Next. So these are the typical challenges: selling to everyone, winning no one, spraying the gun very, very rapidly, and then it doesn't go anywhere. So you have to choose where you are. Poor distributor productivity, unclear value proposition, and no market expansion roadmap. These are all the typical issues. We can solve all these for any MSME who wants to have a clear marketing strategy and where to position their products, how to position it, when to position it, in what manner to position it, and what are the pricing, what are the commercials, etc. Everything. Next. Top GTM mistakes MSMEs make. Once again, as I told you, selling to everyone, that is a repeat. Hiring sales before GTM clarity, most important. See, when you are not framing your GTM clarity properly with all the elements, like I mentioned, the 5-stage playbook, if you don't have that properly planned, what happens is the person you take before you do that planning may not be suitable to execute those 5 steps of the playbook. So when you have the 5 stages of the playbook of yours written very well in your own fashion, in your own organization as a doctrine document, then you are in a position well enough to choose the right person to apply those 5 steps and then go ahead and sell the products. So that's the right thing you have to do. And discount driven growth, this is something which is a repeat, in fact, that they should not be doing it. And ignoring channel economics. The ability to understand, empathize with the channel guys, put yourself into their shoes and see how well they can be enabled are certain things that one can see. Next. I'm just giving a small 90-day GTM action plan. This is something which is a doable thing, and that will be able to show significant progress. The first 30 days, do the market focus. Find out what are the segments you're going to sell, what are the profitable revenues, where do you have the strongest product market, and which geography offers the greatest density population. Make clear choices about where you will focus, etc. In the next 20 days, the 31st to 50 days, create the value proposition and all those aspects. In the next 20 days after that, up to the 70th day, do your channel management aspect. And in the next 20 days after that, between the 71st and 90, review the pricing versus the value delivered. These things, if it is done very clearly in a 90-day time frame, we can establish a great and robust go-to-market strategy for any MSM. Next. When should you revisit your GTM strategy? If your revenue growth has plateaued, then you should revisit definitely, because my revenue is not growing any further, then I have to redo it. If you are entering a new geography or market, you need to do it. If you are adding new products, you need to do it. If you are scaling beyond current size, you need to do it. But like, when they mention in the aircraft, we are probably going through turbulent times on the path. But even otherwise, if the seat belts are switched off, kindly keep your seat belts on. That is what is required as a GTM strategy for an hour. Even though you are doing smooth sailing, your products are selling well, your market is well, your geography expansion is great, you're adding new products without any problem, and you're also having your business growing. Do not stop your GTM strategy. That execution rhythm, which I said, please do continue that very, very religiously. Next. This is it. So revenue growth has plateaued. Definitely you need to do a GTM. That is a red signal, basically. Adding new products, maybe you add some new products in January, you added some more new products in July. After 6 months, you are entering some new markets, you are scaling beyond your current size or your otherwise, but do regular reviews. This is something which I wanted to explain to all of you on what is go-to-market strategy. And that's all is there from me today in this session in terms of how from factory to the market, a MSME entrepreneur can take his or her products and see that they are perched very well in there, get their own market share, and then start growing their business with a planned aspect, not as a derivative. And this presentation comes to you under the aegis of Lumen Network. And this is a thanks from all of us. Lumen Network is is a group which connects, aggregates, and integrates. There is a 360 KYC. You will be able to view all of this on the Lumen Network. Thank you so much for everybody. My presentation is here at this.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. JNS, for a wonderful presentation. Close to about 45 minutes, exactly 45 minutes, I would say. And show the person is a pro in the field of go-to-market strategy and presentations. Friends who are here, on behalf of each one of you, I must share my gratitude and thanks to the GNS because he has covered length and breadth of go-to-market strategies. Even for a novice can understand this. I mean, you're all entrepreneurs. Many of you are entrepreneurs. I think some of you are professionals and leaders, business leaders. You all know this subject per se in terms of the word, in terms of your own day-to-day operations. But a professional like Mr. G. Sivaramakrishna, who is going to be available in terms of your day-to-day, execution strategies, guidance, it would add terrific value. That is what Lumen Network is always trying to recommend and suggest entrepreneurs. With this, let me just open up a Q&A session for next 15 minutes. So I would request anybody and everybody, you can actually, open up your questions, ask Mr. GNS to get his insights and enlightenment. Over to all of you. You can unmute your audio and probably you can just raise your hand to the emoji. Then I will pick and choose one by one. And then you can post a question so that we'll be able to respond to that. Who's going to first put your question? It's nice that 38 people are here today on a nice weekend evening. I think we can go all out to ask questions, Mr. GNS. I think somebody has posted in the chat. Okay. Mr. Narayanan Mohan Kumar, motivation for MSME. Yes, sir. It's just not about motivation, but it's also adding value to them in terms of bringing them a blueprint. I would always say Mr. GNS is a person who creates blueprint on GTM for several organizations. At least I've been working with several organizations along with him for my clients. I think somebody has posted here, Mr. Narayan Mohan Kumar, price, volume, demand, uniqueness, capital. Okay. Do you have any question to ask, sir? Price, volume, and demand, uniqueness, capital. Any specific question that you want to ask, Mr. Narayan Mohan Kumar, sir?
He's a chartered accountant, so he is.
Yeah. Great,
Yeah.
great. Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Mr. Murugan Salvanayan has a question. Sir, please go ahead. Kelunga.
Yeah, please, Murugan.
Sir, any language you can speak. He speaks, Mr. GNS speaks Tamil, Telugu, Hindi. I don't know other languages. Maybe Japanese also, I don't know. So feel free to post your question. Murugan sir, Kelunga, you can ask the question. நீங்க unmute பண்ணிக்கோங்க மிஸ்டர் முருகன். நீங்க ஆடியோ அன்மியூட் பண்ணிட்டு கேளுங்க. மிஸ்டர் முருகன் ஆடியோ அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. மிஸ்டர் முருகன் நீங்க பேசுறது கேட்கல, நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணல. Before that, anybody else want to ask question? I'm very happy to see a senior business leader, Mr. Surya Prakash Rao, all the way from Bangalore, I think. Bangalore.
Yeah.
Sir, very, very happy meeting you. You are a very senior person in the industry and we know you. And very humble regards. My partner, Mr. Prakash, met you in Bangalore one month before.
Yes.
I recall that meeting. Thanks for the GNS.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
Kelunga.
Murugan Kelunga.
Sir, Murugan, good evening, sir. Sir, sir, Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, we have many districts. Districts, we have many districts. For example, if you take Chennai or any other nearby district, for all MSMEs, we have, a registered, a kind of site, a kind of website where all the MSMEs are listed, including the type of item they manufacture, something like that, sir.
Oh, okay. நீங்க வந்து database கேக்குறீங்க. MSMEs உங்களோட potential.
Correct.
Very good.
Database available.
Very good. அந்த மாதிரி டைரக்ட் டேட்டாபேஸ் வந்து அவைலபிள் கிடையாது ஃபார் பப்ளிக் கன்சம்ஷன். ஏன்னா அது வந்து கான்ஃபிடென்ஷியல் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் உங்களுக்கு இருக்குன்றதுனால. ஆனா நீங்க இப்போ உதயம் போர்ட்டல்ல ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. உதயம் போர்ட்டல்ல நீங்க MSME ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிருப்பீங்க, மைக்ரோ ஸ்மால் மீடியம் பண்ணிருப்பீங்க.
Fine, sir.
பட்
Okay.
பட் நீங்க MSME பர்டிகுலர் சப்போஸ் யூ செட் யூ ஆர் இன் சென்னை இல்லையா, சென்னையில வந்து DIC இருக்கு, டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி சென்டர் இருக்கு. சார் ஜேன சார், ஐ எம் ரெஸ்பாண்டிங் திஸ் பிகாஸ் இட்ஸ் கனெக்டட் டு கவர்மெண்ட் டேட்டாபேஸ் அண்ட் ஆல் தட். ஸோ டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி சென்டர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு DIC நம்ம ஒரு மாவட்டத்துலயும் இருக்கு. இப்போ சென்னைனா
சரி.
சென்னை DICன்னு ஒன்று இருக்கு. அந்த DICல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஜெனரல் மேனேஜரை போய் நீங்க பார்க்கணும்.
Okay.
பார்த்துட்டு நான் இந்த மாதிரி இந்த பர்டிகுலர் செக்டார்ல பிசினஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி டார்கெட் கஸ்டமர்ஸ் இருக்காங்க, அவங்க யாராவது இந்த MSME ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிருந்தாங்கன்னா நான் ரீச் பண்ணணும், இது எப்படி நான் ரீச் பண்ணலாம், நான் அபிஷியலா லெட்டர் கொடுக்கணுமான்னு கேட்கலாம்.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So அந்த பெர்மிஷன் ஜெனரல் மேனேஜர் DIC கிட்ட பெர்மிஷன் வாங்கினீங்கன்னா he'll be able to help you out because this data is with a government.
Okay.
கரெக்டா? அதனால அது நீங்க பண்ண முடியும். இது ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட். ரெண்டாவது, பிரைவேட் செக்டார்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய ஆர்கனைசேஷன் டேட்டா பேஸ் கலெக்ட் பண்ணி அவங்க டேட்டா பேஸ விற்கிறாங்க.
Oh, okay.
மார்க்கெட் ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி லாட் ஆஃப் பீப்புள் கோ டு மார்க்கெட், கலெக்ட் த டேட்டா பிசிக்கலி. அவங்க அந்த டேட்டா பேஸா கேப்சர் பண்ணி ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேர் மாதிரி போட்டு அதை வந்து உங்களுக்கு 1000 rupees 2000 rupees விற்கிறாங்க. அதுல வந்து நிறைய ஃபேக் டேட்டா பேஸும் இருக்கு. நான் நிறைய வாங்கி ஏமாந்துருக்கேன் வாழ்க்கையில. சோ அது ஓவர் த பீரியட் ஆஃப் டைம் தான் நமக்கு அந்த லேர்னிங் கிடைக்கும். ஜெனியூனா விற்கிறவங்களும் இருக்காங்க. நீங்க பர்டிகுலர் செக்மெண்ட்ல போய் நீங்க எடுக்கலாம். இது ரெண்டாவது. மூணாவது, டைரக்ட் சொல்யூஷன் உங்களுக்கு தரேன், நீங்க ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்க. ஃபண்டு டேட்டான்னு ஒரு வெப்சைட் இருக்கு. ஃபண்டு டேட்டான்னு ஒரு வெப்சைட் இருக்கு. அது உள்ள போனீங்கன்னா நீங்க சூஸ் பண்ணலாம் டார்கெட் கஸ்டமர்ஸ், டார்கெட் பிசினஸ் வெர்டிக்கல். அதை சூஸ் பண்ணி நீங்க பே பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஜெனியூனான டேட்டா உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும். I used to buy those days.
Fine. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Yeah. I think Surya Prakash Rao sir wanted to share or ask question. Please, over to you, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. It's a very nice presentation, GNS, and I really appreciate the way you have presented with lots of examples. I just wanted to add one more dimension to that. It is the cash flow. All MSMEs will have a problem with cash flow.
Yes.
Whether it's a market selection, or whether it is a logistics, or whether it is a channel selection, it is very important. Both your channel partner and your pricing will have to take care of the cash flow. Profit or pricing is just one aspect of it. If you don't have cash, you will have problem.
Yes.
So that also needs to be taken as a top priority in this. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a very good point. Thank you, sir. We'll take it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
This is Suresh. Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead,
Please.
Suresh.
Yeah.
Please,
Sir, Suresh is my hostel mate. My classmate
great.
in CIT.
Oh, great. Happy meeting you, sir.
Yeah. I am also a Wipro SPD guy.
Oh, okay.
He knows you in Wipro, Mr. Anand. He knows you in Wipro.
Oh, okay.
You are
Okay.
I think.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining.
Okay. See, very good presentation by GNS. The only one aspect which I wanted from him is, today many of this MSMEs think that a consultant can be replaced by AI. They enter go-to-market strategy. Something comes. They think that is the end of it, and they're actually not really cashing on the experience of someone who was in the field. Okay, so what is your advice, GNS, in this particular regard? Because I'm seeing that in many places. They are trying to replace the strategies through some AI, and they are trying to implement it in the actual field, which may not be successful. But have you come across anything like that? And
Yes.
why is it not good?
My answer will be like this. I will also tell the MSME entrepreneur, if you want to establish an AI-based decision-making tool, even then you need me, because I will have to teach you what you need to ask the AI engine, number one. That itself, they may not be able to do it with their limited exposure, because the statements that you give to chatbot, the explanation that you give it to it, and all the parameters that you give for it to give you a decision is itself an art, actually speaking. So if they think that they can probably replace the consultant, And for example, I had about 7 or 8 organizations, projects as examples that I wanted to talk today. But in the 45 minutes, I could only give you 3 or 4. I can give even 10, 15. Now, over the last 14, 15 years, I have helped more than 60, 70 companies on go-to-market strategy. So I can tell exactly which strategy. Of course, one might immediately jump and say, hey, a strategy that worked in 2011 is not going to work in 2027. Definitely it won't work. But what lessons we learned from then, we can apply. And today we are able to see ahead because of our past experience. So an AI definitely cannot replace, rather we can get them to complement it over a period of time. That is possible.
Excellent. Very good, Shivarama. That's a nice answer. And
Thank
one
you.
more is, many of the people who are in the startup mode, for them the real challenge is to get the first customer.
Correct.
So
Correct.
how a consultant can go and contribute?
Yeah. I have a turnkey solution called eGTM. It's called electronically generated go-to-market strategy. Within 6 months, we will give a turnkey solution of getting them their first customer, their first employee, their first office, their first partner, and their first business establishment, whether it is in Morocco or it is in Netherlands, sitting in Chennai, but the parent company can be in Melbourne, not necessarily in India. Nobody needs to go from Melbourne to Morocco. Nobody needs to go from Madras to Morocco or Madras to Melbourne. We can do it on a turnkey basis. It's possible.
Okay, very good, very good. Thank you so much. Very nice of you. And
Thank you.
MSMEs, kindly get the experience of GNS into your fold, so that you are able to get something from the gray hair, or without a person without a hair.
that shows the intimacy between both of you.
For you. All of us are in the same boat. Okay, very nice of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is the power of going to anywhere in the world without going an inch out of Chennai. That is because of the 4 decades of experience, which has created huge real estate above. Thank you so much for your very humorous interaction, Mr. Suresh sir. Thank you so much. Anybody else wanted to ask any question? Please feel free to post a question.
Recognize Gopi Subramaniam. Thank you very much. Gopi is also my classmate from school. He's from US. He has come all the way from Boston.
Very nice. Thank you, Mr. Gopi. Thank you. I think Mr. Mani wanted to post a question. So please go ahead.
Thanks, Mr. Mani. Go ahead, Mr. Mani.
Yeah, very good evening. I am RS Mani here, and I had been connected to Mr. GNS for about a year and a half, and I am following you, Anand sir, also on YouTube, and maybe very keen to meet you also and get
Thank you, sir.
Connected or collaboration with your organization as well. Okay, so I personally feel this is the need of the hour, whatever has been being done. I think this is the 7th episode you had been doing, but I came to know only today after DNS has shared a broadcast message to me. And my preview, whatever I feel, like as the discussion was there, why we need consultant, can I use AI as a tool? So primarily, one is planning and strategy creation. But the point is, there is a person, senior person, an experienced person need to monitor. So that's very vital, which is lagging in any organization. For example, like the management people in an organization, their strength and weakness is known to the employees. Okay, so in a long term, the strength and weakness of the management is known to every employee, and they don't take it seriously. But when a consultant is being appointed, when there is an information given from the consultant mouth, there is a value. That's what I had been seeing. I had been an entrepreneur for more than about 2 decades. And last few years, I have been working more as a sales consultant, getting qualified leads. So in fact, I want to ask Mr. Murugan also know what is the reason he is trying to get the database. Database is available plenty, but what you are going to do with this database is vital. So much database is available. how you're going to filter and nurture those? That's very vital. Are you going to have a tool, as well as so many AI tools are now available with which I could see? I'm also trying to figure it out whether I can have a AI voice agent with which we can communicate with the customer. And soon I believe AI can be an enabler in different ways. It can be few tools which the consultant can recommend and make sure they connect the dots and make the system rolling for an organization. So wonderful session, and I really love. And after, as I told you, 2 decades of experience, I have seen the ups and downs in my business. I had done a lot of big projects like Phoenix Mall, Express Avenue, and then we are done for builders like Apasami, Kibraj. So many big projects we have executed, and cash flow problem, as Surya Prakash sir told, no, that actually hit me in 2015 during the demonetization announcement, where I had put all my eggs in the same basket. That is, all my projects were real estates. Okay, so one good thing of what I want to share as a business owner, I have not taken OD. It is a strength and weakness for my business growth, I should say. I have touched about 5 to 6 crores. I should have gone 50 to 60 crores if I have taken OD. But I'm the first time entrepreneur. I had my own limitation of taking the risk. I run on other people's money. I take credit from my vendor and I supply the product to my client, and then make sure before the credit terms ends, I complete the project and give the payment to my vendor and take my profit. So this has been my cyclic process for more than 15 to 20 years. And it has been smooth till 2015. Exactly, I should say around 12 years. Okay, so maybe if I have taken an OD, whenever I had a problem on 2015 cash flow problem, I would have I would have overcome that, and then still I would have run my business. But I was not able to do because I had a cash flow problem. And slowly we got the payment. But the real cash flow, smooth flow only will keep the business running. Lubrication has to be smooth, which failed. So much friction were there. And then I switched my business from product-based business into knowledge-based business, which is totally risk-free, which is consulting business. And then I started learning about more of digital marketing, and I entered into sales consultancy, because that was my prime course since 1995 onwards, an engineering graduate with a techno-commercial background. So pure sales consultant is what, and I had been very strong now on LinkedIn, and I use some of the tools, as Murugan sir was asking, instead of getting the database, nowadays the trend is target your audience in LinkedIn, and then you can reveal the contacts through few tools, paid tools, and then connect with them, start nurturing those niche contacts, and you will be able to get business deals.
Thank you, Mr. Mani. Mr. Mani, your narration, your articulation is so good, and it is kind of a use case study for many of the entrepreneurs who are sitting here. So that's a very wonderful narration of your own personal story. I really value it, sir. I really value it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So shall we go to Mr. Ganesh Sundesa and then Mr. Sudhagar?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, first of all, for GNS, sir, for a very useful and informative content. And thank you, Anand, sir, also for all your sharing. I just got myself registered in Udayam portal as an MSME myself. I am working on an idea, an online product, which I think will benefit the MSMEs, which I think will address the pain points of the MSMEs, like GNS sir explained in the first step, market focus step. So to validate whether it is really a pain point for the MSME, I would like to conduct a survey of MSMEs, typically automotive manufacturers or typically manufacturing companies of micro enterprises. So is there any support system to conduct this kind of surveys? I am approaching some associations, but I would like to know whether there is some support system in the market to conduct this kind of survey.
JNS, sir, would you want to respond to this query?
Several support systems are available, Mr. Ganesh, but what happens is, in fact, Mr. Anand also will recall, recently we had one client approaching us from an overseas country, and he said that I want to set up something in India, and I want all the supportive mechanisms in terms of so we were able to probably deliver it within 4 hours to him. Data is available. So if you come out with a request of any particular enablement under the MSME, Mr. Anand is, of course, is a supreme expert in terms of MSME business in India for the last almost 3 decades. He has been doing a lot of work. So we are there to give you a lot of information, but each and every input that you need for your business to run depends on where we source it from, how we source it from. It is possible. We can do it. And if there's anything to be created by us as a concept, we'll be happy to create it because we have immense experience in doing so.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. JNS. Mr. Ganesh, what you can do is you can just connect with the Lumen Network. The Lumen Network is a MSME global platform that we created from Sea Change, just to connect, integrate, and aggregate.
Okay,
so
sir.
any questions related to any of your challenges with respect to your sales, marketing, finance, distribution, brand positioning, customer service, recruitment, talent mapping, there are 15, 16 functions in any business. All you need is exposure, experience, and guidance, right? That is what we do it in Lumen Network. You can actually check the chat box here, Zoom chat box. I have already shared the link to you. You just become a member. It's a free membership. And then you post your query to the team. My team will, what they will do is they will connect with Mr. JNS or so many other professionals who are part of our network and see how they can help you on the survey that you asked. I have done a lot of surveys. I have done a lot of MSME surveys over the last 6-7 years. Before even COVID, I started doing. And I published my articles also after the survey has been done, which is available in my LinkedIn page as well. And I have done pan India for 20,000 people survey on healthcare. And very huge experience that we have how to really go about without spending too much money. Because you are an entrepreneur, you don't want to spend lakhs of money for this. Yet you wanted to do a proper sampling, right?
Yeah.
So we can always help you out with our guidance and then see how we can, move forward. Is that okay?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I will contact you. Thank you.
Mr. Ganesh. We'll go to Mr. Sudhakar Raman for his question. Over to you, sir. You can unmute audio and then post your query.
Good evening, Mr.G and sir. Sudhakar. Yeah, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, Sudhakar. Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Sir, really great presentation and great advices and really inspiring globe-trotting experience of yours across various industries, length and breadth. Wonderful points which you have mentioned, like market share percentage and depth and width and execution rhythm and systematic approach. Some of the great points which you have taken. One or two inputs I need from you, sir, regarding market share percentage. How to get that done, calculated meticulously in the MSME, because it is slightly tough for the MSME with my little experience. Market share percentage derivation for the micro companies. This is one thing. Number two, a question is how to plan for the short term versus long term as an MSME guy.
If you look at any starting industry, like what they call unicorn, okay. If you today ask what is the market percentage share between Zomato and Swiggy, it's easy to give. Okay, it's very easy to give. Big Basket, Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit, blah, blah. Put 5 or 6 players. You can say this is the percentage. Your question is very apt in the sense that if somebody is going to do automobile component manufacturing and as a startup, it's very difficult for him to know what will be my market share if I get into this business. But even there, data is available. If he is producing, if you go down to the specific rubberized component used in the so and so assembly of automobiles, you can find out, pinpoint and say that that particular market size is 1,000 crores. And if this person wants to make a sale of 5 crores in the next 2 years, then he's trying to capture 5% market, something like that. So it is possible, 0.5% market, something like that. So point is the ability to understand what is the addressable term, the total addressable market, and then move towards it, that market share ability is possible. So what was your second part? The second part of your question was in terms of?
Balancing the short term versus the long term.
Yeah.
As a micro guy, a very, micro entrepreneur, balancing the short term versus the long term due to a lot of fear factors, etc., etc.
So simply here, only one aspect is there is only a gradual linear 60-degree graph, 45-degree graph that one needs to plan. Ideally, that's about it. When a business starts, it has to keep going on a 45-degree angle graph only, but it doesn't happen ideally. Okay. So what happens is, in terms of when a product is being even conceptualized and thought of, one needs to know how long that product will last. Today, Kodak is no more anywhere in the market. There is no film, photographic film, because there is no need. So when somebody is bringing a product, they should be also able to have an idea of how long that particular market will last. And in that case, what is the short-term quick gains that one has to make? And for that, what are the strategies? We can work out a strategy for that. We are there to work out the strategy for that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sudhakar. Thank you, JNS. Yeah. Now the time is 8:20. Maybe can we take one last question, JNS, sir?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure. Anybody?
Yeah. I mean, all of you feel free to ask. Actually, I post your question through email or our social handle, which I've just shared in the chat box. Any specific questions going forward, if you have anything on GTM, please post your query through email and WhatsApp and follow our social handle. We will diligently give it to Mr. JNS so that sir will be able to respond to you instantly. He is quite active since morning 3:30 a.m. every single day. So he gets up at 3:30 and he's on the system at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Probably that is a second round sleep for many of us. So over to one single large question that you may have about GTM in whatever way you want to ask. Feel free. We have entire time for you. Please post a query. If you have any specific query you want to ask. Since we have signed up FTAs, New Zealand to European EU, FTA to US trade, I mean, the market is now galloping and it's opening. It's going to open at a big scale. All of us have to be ready for our exports too. Prime Minister Modi said, go and dump our products in the European Union. So let's gear up for even exports. Many of us are still playing confined to our own game within India. So we have opportunities to go abroad. We have opportunities to sell the product. In fact, Mr. GNS helped several of my clients, our clients, C-chain clients, for their overseas market. One of the companies, a pharma drug producer of Tamil Nadu, and they produce for dialysis solution, a drug for dialysis solution. And Mr. GNS is taking them to ASEAN countries, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Vietnam, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Singapore, everywhere. So there is a huge scope for MSME organizations who have a very reliable product with a value proposition, as he rightly mentioned in GTM presentation. We can take them to export exposure as well. Any last question? Feel free to post your query.
Hi sir, this is Manikandan.
Please, Manikandan, go ahead.
Sir, I'm actually running a company named Nakshatra Engineering in Chennai. Actually, I'm subcontract supplier for railway and automobile components, sir. Automobile components plus one construction items, sir. Just I want to go to market and sell my product, but the component drawings are given by my customer. How can I tackle that, sir?
GNS, sir, would you want to take this question forward?
What was your the second part? What is it? What is being given by your customers? Design, is it?
Designs and drawings are given by my customers.
Okay. So if you are being asked to make on their requirements, and if you are able to do so, it's fine. But it would also be ingenious enough for you to say that you can make a design for that requirement on your own ingenuity factor and show them a proof of concept. And then what happens is you gain a lot of respect and credibility, by which you will be given a preference in terms of other suppliers also. So you must not fail to explore that option and tell them that, hey, I know you have a design or a drawing, but if this is your need, if you remember in my presentation, I said it is not the feature of the product that is important, it's the outcome that it delivers. So if you are able to focus on the outcome delivery aspect and tell him that your design or your approach will give that particular outcome, which will be beneficial to them in their sub-assembled or a macro-assembled product, that is where you score a brownie point and enter into their business. We can help you to do that, Mr. Manikandan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I will just connect with you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. JNS. Just to add a point to Mr. Manikandan's query, very interesting, Mr. Manikandan. We are actually helping one of the clients who's into electrical product manufacturing, training and manufacturing to some extent, and they supply to ICF and typically railways. So some of the products, the customer, railway says, this is the design you manufacture. Some other product he manufactured, he said, this is my product. That's what Mr. JNS said. So you can actually play two games. Take the drawing and develop and sell to the specific customer, which is a custom built product. And the same customer can say, I have this standard product already developed. If you have a specific requirement on these products, I'm ready to sell any quantity. Which means you are actually evolving as just not a job worker, but a product seller. Right? So அந்த மாதிரி நீங்க evolve ஆகலாம் futureல step by step நீங்க வளரும் போது நீங்க evolve ஆகலாம். We can help you out on this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
This is Ponilan, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Manikandan. Mr. Ponilan, please go ahead.
Sir, I will like to have a question on the Manikandan question, and thank you, Jena, sir, for your presentation. Wonderful presentation, sir. So here I would like to have, as Manikandan mentioned, that is a drawing and design all submitted by the customer. Though whenever it, when the drawing was, when the design was submitted by the customer, it is kind of a security issue. So in that case, as you know, it is a, they are doing the R&D and they are giving for a small scale MSME. We couldn't capable to do that kind of R&D in our MSME, as you know. But in that case, even though if you are doing a new design, it is not going to be approved from the railways or else automobile industry very easily. So in that case, it's very hard how we can able to manufacturing our product in the go-to-market strategy. So for an example, let me stay in the different story. We are doing some turning parts or some fabrication parts for a customer. The same product we couldn't able to sell in the market. So in that case, what is your answer for either we are manufacturing for fabrications or some other components, any components in the manufacturing? How we can do in a go-to-market strategy, sir? If my question is not wrong. Thank you,
Your
sir.
question is valid. Your question is really valid. JNS, sir, I would like to add a point here, but before that, I would like to leave the space to you because you are muted, JNS. Yeah.
Most importantly, Mr. Ponilan, if you really know where your manufactured product or where your produced item is going to fit into theirs, and if you know where, I mean, what is currently being offered to that need. And if you still further know where is their pain point due to that current existing product, then you score. That is where you come out with your top class approach, saying that I will be able to solve this by giving you this by replacement of this material composition and whatever are the features, and then the outcome based information. Then you will be in a position to win over it. That is something which we need. It's not a pre-prescribed or a single formula, but it is a situation-based evolving change that needs to be done. It can be done that way. Mr. Anand, over to you.
Good. I have two different perspectives on the Ponilan's point of view. When I mentioned to Mr. Manikandan that when the railways or somebody gives a design, and you cannot really go back to say that I have another B product and why don't you buy? Because they are not going to buy anyway, as you rightly said. But the perspective here is that to project to the large industry that I am a make in India company, I manufacture products. Otherwise, they consider you as one of the job worker. There are 100,000 job workers doing the same job. But when you say that I do job working, but still I also have a make in India, aspect division, which means I manufacture product, not to sell to them directly, but to position your brand in the minds of the customer. Number one. Number two, when you manufacture a product, when you are product company, you don't have to really sell it to a large industry immediately because you are MSME. There are 100,000 people who can buy your product from the MSME customer perspective. You don't have to go to the large industry to sell the product. There are multi-layer when you sell the product, right? It doesn't really go into you don't have to go to the level 1 layer of the industry like Tata's or anybody. You can always go to the level 3, level 4, where you can say that you are anyway connected as a vendor, what they call a tier 2 or tier 3 vendor. And I have this product. And if you have a specification that matches your customer's expectation, let me be your product supplier. It's all about over the period of time, Mr. Ponilan, what I believe, our MSME people, if you look at, there are 70 million MSMEs in the country. There are 7 crore MSME companies in the country. And most of us are not a product company. We always depend on another industry. If that industry says goodbye to you, your business is gone. Therefore, we go, beat our chest, offer everything, Saranagadi, and then offer the lowest price because we don't have merits. We don't have our own product to showcase. So my advocacy here for whoever is possible, whoever has that passion to build your own brand, please start doing it today. That is the idea behind the explanation.
Thank you, Anand.
Mr. Veeraraghvan has a point to say. Mr. Veeraraghvan has got something to say.
Okay, over to Mr. Veeraraghvan. Yeah.
Thanks, GNSG. This question actually is the right one because not every MSME can make designs or new product innovations, and they have to dance to the tune of the customers. We have been handling this situation in textile industry where the design is given by the customer. It is proprietary. We cannot even even the excess of the goods cannot be sold in the open market. That's a kind of a situation. It's all copyrighted products, intellectual property rights and everything comes in. So what we do here is actually an added value to the customer. As GNSG rightly said in his presentation, it is not about the product that we sell and then positioning ourselves into a seller kind of a things or anything, but it is more about the value that as a value delivered to the client, the end value that we give it to the client. Any product manufacturer or any railway or any other larger companies, they give a design. It is not just a product that they ask us to do, but there is some value addition they look forward. It may be in terms of logistics, it may be in terms of design services, or it may be in terms of any other pain points that the customer has. What normally in a textile industry we do is, though we only make the products we just make the product as per the spec they're given, but we try to understand what are the other pain points that can be done as an additional service to the customer. So as Anandji rightly said, there are a number of job people. They can place the order with any other manufacturer, but it is the kind of a value that we give it to the client like some additional value, so that it's like more of a manufacturer than we kind of suggest people to place themselves as a solution provider, so that we understand the problem and then we deliver it. Even though when we do like that, positioning yourself as a solution provider, the not just the product that makes a difference, but you are valued as a better supplier for them, giving some solution that open up a lot of opportunity within the same client. Apart from that, what we do here, actually suggest here in a few other client places, is like any company for that matter, railway or anything, you show your capabilities rather than on positioning yourself as a job work unit. Show up yourself capacity or capability that can bring in more product than a specific kind of a or a particular kind of business alone. You can expand your the horizon, so that more products can be offered, and then more services or many more business can be derived out of them. That's a kind of a way we suggest, and then the clients are doing it that way. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Raghavan sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Thank you. Thanks for your explanation.
Thank you. So, Mr. JNS, I think we have come to the end of the session. It's very happy and heartening to see all the seniors, professionals, entrepreneurs, people from like Mr. Ponilan all the way from Tokyo joining.
Thank you.
So,
So actually, what are the things you are seeing? I'm also being a part of R&D in automobile. So
okay.
yeah, the innovation from the tier 1 and tier 3 or the small scale, we are not going to be accept that reason because some few regulations and kind of issue. And sir, finally, I would like to ask only one question. That is, when I was visiting last time in India, I went to a few of companies on behalf of money for introducing them. But what I felt that is the respect which we are losing in MSME. I'm sorry to say this. What is your opinion? Why MSME is not respected in some organization? Even they are also the peoples. They are also coming. I mean, there is in the leadership we are seeing in Tokyo. When we are seeing in the OEM, that is a different leadership. But this MSME also in our they are also the directly and indirectly stakeholder who is contributing things to be stuff done. But why they are not treated with the respect? So that's my worries and question when I was observed last time. So is there any point would you like to say on this, sir?
So if you ask me, like, my response will be like this. In fact, this is a sequel to the question that you asked earlier. Self-respect and our dignity and self-esteem is pretty much important in the minds of the entrepreneurs. In my opinion, the last 33 years that I've traveled with the small business owners, I myself as an entrepreneur started my first company way back in 1998 as an MSME, IT field. What I feel is the pride of us has to increase. We have a very fixed mindset. Still, we have the colonial approach. When an industry comes, we think that they are great and very small. And we think that we are micro. It is also called micro, small, medium businesses. The pride is less. Basically, in India, not only MSME, generally speaking, now it is actually galloping, it's now improving. We must feel really proud of our business, over the turnover that we do. The specific question that you asked, why many people are ill-treated rather, it is we who give space to others. Like Gandhiji said, nobody can hurt me without my consent. Nobody can hurt me without my consent. I don't allow you to hurt me. Only if I allow myself to open up my heart, you can always keep pushing me and pulling me. I don't allow you. That kind of, I would say, it is not arrogance. It's not out of arrogance, it's out of pride. It's out of esteem that I have. Let me tell you one final anecdote on this, which I always quote in my workshops and various programs. Imagine if one day this 70 million MSMEs stop working. One day, we take a break. What will happen to the industry?
Well said, sir.
Can the car get produced out from Hyundai and all other brands, Maruti and everybody? One day. We just take one day. 110 crore people are employed in MSME. If all the 110 crore people together take one day break, what will happen to the country's GDP on that day? It is it's a ripple effect. So it's not about one day, it's a ripple effect, cascading effect. We don't have to really stop working. I'm not advocating that people please stop one day break. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we are very important for this GDP. We are contributing 30% of India's GDP, 40% on manufacturing and 45% on exports. We are such a large, and we employ, after agriculture, we are the largest employer of this country. Not the corporates, not the transnational, not the enterprise, not the multinational. We, MSMEs, employ people. You go to a marriage function, I quoted number of times, you go to any marriage function of your family, and you call all the 100 guys who are attending the function, how many of you are employed in multinationals and transnationals? Maybe 10 people out of 100. Out of that, 60 to 70% people will say, I work for anybody who's doing turnover of, let us say, up to 500 crores, which is called MSME. MSME should feel we are great. That greatness should come from within. That's a behavioral issue. I hope I made a point here.
Yeah, yes, Anand. Yeah, thanks for your explanation. If that is continued, I will be more happy. Thank you.
This is the purpose of teaching, that this is the purpose of Lumen Network that I started.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And JNS sir, thank you so much for joining and making this wonderful presentation. All the professionals, seniors, industry leaders and entrepreneurs, thank you so much. Keep connecting with us. Every 15 days we host webinar like this. The next webinar is next 2 weeks is going to happen. Please stay connected with us and have a wonderful weekend. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand sir. Thank you, JNS sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Take care.